Hello, my friends. Hi, guys. Thursday night. I'm having a live marathon tonight. I've been on at 7 p.m. Oh, hi, Sarah. It's good to see you, girl. I've been on 7 p.m. in German and in English in a dual language live. I've been on at 8 p.m. in my German live, and now I'm back at 9 p.m. in my English live. So, guys, there's so many things to do at the moment. I'm moving to the new shop, so there's lots of things to do, but still I do have a customer piece I've got to get finished somehow, sometime, somewhere. So we are still, this is the chair to that beauty vanity. And last time we've already painted the, I'm going to bring that a little closer so you can see. You could almost leave it like that. This is only one coat of dixiebellepaint. So this is fabric. I've painted that with dixiebelle paints. So tonight we're going to do the second coat of that and also the second coat of blending on the legs. And we will add a little trim around here from woodubend just to give it a little more interest. Guys, for those who don't know me, my name is Angela. I'm the owner of Creative Energy from Elfenundhelden. I'm a delight retailer for dixiebelle paints over here in Frankfurt in Germany. So I'm very happy when you join me. Just say hi to me. Hi, Philippa. Hi, Nina. That's great that you're all with me. Friday morning in Australia. Friday morning. Oh, you're ahead of us. Okay. I always thought you're behind. You're ahead of us. All right. It is evening here. So, Thursday evening here. Hi, Sissy. Hallo, Sissy. Schön, dass du da bist. Okay. Hi, Nina. All right, guys. Second coat of pure ocean on the fabric. Again, using loads of water, using my Mr. bottle, using dilute some of the pure ocean in a little bit of water, using my French tip brush, and I also have the Dixie Belle sanding sponge, which is about a 220 grit, just to soften the paint a little down. It is not hard, but I just do that just like a quick sand on the fabric, just to soften that a little bit, just to loosen that a little up. That's the only thing I do. Sanding sponge by Dixie Belle is, it is a sponge which makes it nice and flexible. And as I said, it's got about a 220 grit, which is pretty fine. And I'm just going over it back and forth once to smooth that down, and also around the edges once, and that's it. That's it. I have everything. That's what you do between coats. Yeah. Then you take a cloth, which I just haven't. I always forget something, don't I? Stay with me. I need a cloth. Just to take any of the dust off if there's any coming off. But this, again, I'm going to show you because the question is always, will the paint come off? I mean, I've sanded that now. There's nothing coming off from that paint. So this is basically what's this about? Just making sure. I mean, this fabric on here is not spectacular. So it's a bit lumpy, but we thought if she doesn't like it, we can still, redo the fabric and put something else on there. But as this was just like a creamy color, I thought that would be fine or perfect for painting it. So again, hi Manase. Thank you, Nina. Yes, it is very summery, isn't it? Oh, sandpaper on fabric. I am so sorry. Should I have warned you? Have you spoken to your mom? That's good. That's good. So, chalk mineral paints by Dixie Belle, water-based, environmental friendly, no VOCs. If you're a sensitive person like I am, that's a perfect paint for you. As I said, water-based, so that's the reason you you should shake them up nicely to make sure that all the ingredients are mixed. So Nina is asking, could you put a transfer on the paint on the seed? Nina, theoretically you could, but I would only put a transfer on there if it's not in heavy use. If it's going to be heavy used, I don't know how long it's going to last, but you could. It works. You know, I had people doing that. I haven't done it myself yet, but obviously it won't last forever. You know, it may eventually crack also, you know, if you sit on there, as this is pretty soft. But you can, it'll stick, transfers will stick onto it. So, okay. I've gone back to shaking my paint because that's quicker. I'm just cleaning out the lids afterwards. So I'm just using now the paint out of the lid. And I'm going to dilute that. I already got some water in here because you don't need much. As it is very rich, I think that'll be even fine. And it is very runny. I've got it very runny over my fingers. Hi, Michelle. That's good. So you can see that's how runny it is. Instagram, you can see also. And then we're going to stick that onto the onto that chair, onto the fabric. As I said, second coat. I'm spraying the fabric also to make sure it is nice and soft. I've cleaned that before. That's what you always do before you put something onto something. But I'm not soaking it completely wet because I've diluted the paint. So then again, like the first time, I am just putting it on here. And I'm using the French tip brush. The reason I'm using the French tip brush is because it is natural bristles, so you can nicely brush basically the paint into the fabric. So if it is a light fabric, like this one, this is just about enough. I'm just going to lay that down because otherwise, I made a right mess around here. I'm going to do that all the way around, making sure I have everything covered. This is the second coat now. You need to do more coats. You basically do the same steps all over. You sand it down a little, just like going over it once, and that's it. You know, so no need to overdo it. And this is basically just to soften that down a little. So I will need a little more water and a little more paint. Not much. As you can see, I've gone a long way. So I'm just going to add a little more water into my bucket here. I use my bottle now. That's it. Oh, maybe a little more. I hardly used any of it anyway. Grab some more paint from my lid and add it in here. That's it. So do the rest. Oops. rest. And that's done very, very quickly. If you feel it needs a little more watering, you do that. Just go around. Swirly motions. And that's it. Some bristles coming off. Going along the sides here. Making sure I hit all the areas. So that's the second coat of this done. Then you let that dry. You sand it down again, and then you seal it, or I seal it with easy peasy spray wax afterwards. So that's then perfectly sealed in. Making sure I have all areas covered. Perfect. So bristle. Take it off. That's it. All right, there's this done. That to the side. And just going to clean the lid. Oh, hi, Suzanne. Hi, sis. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. That's so sweet. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Becky. Becky's there also. Thank you for joining me all. Hi, Sus. I hope you're okay. I hope everything is fine. So I'm just going to put the lid into the water. Hang on. To make sure that's clean before I add it onto the jar again, because otherwise it'll stick. No. And then I'm going to dripping here. Hang on. So this is also the reason I've painted the fabric first before I go back to the legs, because I've made a mess as usual. And that's the reason I've done that. I have my signage under here. I've been dripping on there. Just want to make sure it's not gonna go through onto my sign. It's not good. It's not good. So put the paint to the side. So the bottom is painted in antebellum blue and in antebellum blue and tree frog green. That's the colors we've used on there. And just a tiny little bit, you can hardly see, this is just basically only highlighting the whole project. And also brought a trim. This is the 050A, which we are going to use around the edge here, but we're going to do that towards the end. Put that there for now, so I'm not damaging it. We have antebellum blue, we have tree frog green, and again, this was one of the projects. I made myself a sample board just to see which green is going to go with those colors, because it's pure ocean antebellum blue, and I wanted to have a little bit of green in there. And as I wasn't sure, and gute Nacht, sift up. Dankeschön, dass du dabei gewesen bist. Yeah. So they are beautiful, aren't they? Squeak, squeak. Yeah, no, there are no mice around here. So yeah, well, I had to take that table. It is squeaking. So what wouldn't that be without a squeaky table? Again, those are the chalk mineral paints, the same thing. Mix them up nicely. You can paint onto your project straight away, while this one was like a factory finished piece and pretty slick surface. So that's the reason I decided to slick stick it first before I put the paint on, but usually you don't have to. And I'm going to use the paint out of the lid first. Tree frog green is a very bright green. So we're just going to use a tiny little bit of it. I'm using the synthetic brushes by Dixie Belle on those areas, and I have my oval small this time, and I have the round small for the tree frog and the oval small for the antebellum blue. And we start at the bottom. The feet down there are going to be, or basically we're going to paint the go right underneath this time to make sure I have everything covered. There we go. On there. So we're going to have some paint on my face in a second also. So there's always quite a bit of paint in the lid, so this is always the reason if I shake the paints up, I'm using that first. So that's the way we go, all the way around. Make sure we hit all the areas we want to have painted. The synthetic brushes, they have very fine bristles. So, here. I have much better lighting here, which is a great benefit. Just going to turn that. I hope you can see that properly. Yeah, they will, Sarah. It's going till Christmas. This is going to be a lot of work, hard time, but I'm sure it'll be easier afterwards. So, but that's the way it is. You know, it's positive. There's a lot of positive things happening at the moment, so that's perfectly fine. I'm all right. Hang on, just gotta make sure I'm not. So there you go. Use the lid. Put that in the water also, so the paint doesn't dry in it. This is the nice thing. I've got the sink right next to me, which makes life a lot easier. I know I look exhausted. I look terrible. I look terrible. So anyhow, it'll be easier at one stage. It's there. And paint make sure I hit the legs properly this time. And, go. If you have questions, guys, just leave them in the comments. If I'm not seeing them straight away, I will come back later to answer those for you. So I'm first putting the antebellum blue down, making sure I have everything hit. Yeah. So, sorry if you see my head for a second. Just gonna make sure I have bottom here now painted properly, because I don't want him to pick up that chair and there's like still white underneath. So we don't want that. So now I'm gonna come in here with the tree frog. That like completely painted with tree frog green, and just a tiny little bit. I don't need much. Add it on there. Don't need much. Michelle, you're so sweet. Oh, Nina, I'm so happy you do. I mean, that's such a sweet feedback. Thank you so much. So, tiny little bit. That might already have been a little too much. Just wet it a little bit. Just add it in here. Just want to highlight the top of the legs here a little with it. And when you want to blend the colors in, the main thing is that your project is damp. I'm doing it basically just with that tree frog green brush, brushing it in. If it's too much for your taste, you can come back. Hang on, you can come back with the antebellum blue and go from there. Back and forth, moving the brush in different directions now to blend that in. It's going to mix it right into the antebellum. I'm just highlighting it tiny little bit. So you can hardly see that there's like some green on there. This is the whole idea of it. Didn't want to have too much. And I'm not using a blending brush. I sometimes use a neutral brush to blend those things in. I'm not doing it this time because that's fine like this. Hi, Helen. Oh, carried away sanding. Oh, do you like sanding? I'm not into sanding. I hate it, to be honest. I hate it. I hate it. Don't like it at all. So this is this leg done. Let me come over to this leg because I already started painting it. So I can feel my back starting to hurt a little, guys. So I'm gonna bring you. Can you see all right what I'm doing here, guys? Otherwise I have to let's see. So this is the second coat, my friends. This is the second coat. Hang on, I've just got to check this side. This is the second coat. And coverage is basically perfect. Now, the first coat, as per usual, is for me to see if I like what I do. And the second coat is then basically if I want to change something. If you discover on the first coat that you don't like it, you basically change it on the second coat. That's what you do. So make sure put it underneath everything. Just pick it up, it looks nice. So then when you feel the paint starts dragging, just use a tiny little bit of water, because that makes it easier when we come in now with our tree frog to blend it in. I've cleaned the brush a little bit for the tree frog green because it was basically picking up the antebellum. So I'm laying it, I just want to have it on top of the legs here. So, and there's different ways of blending. I just want to mix this slightly into the antebellum, just have a tiny little bit of that green on here. So, blending it in now, feathering. I always say butterfly kisses, hardly touching the surface. You go from there, and other sides also, until you're happy with the result. Excuse me, just gonna go over here, having a little on there, not like this. If you're not happy, just come in with your main color, go from there. But this is supposed to be just like a tiny little bit. I don't want to have much of it on here. So that's it. It's fine. And it doesn't need to be equal also. That's always my thing. I'm not, you know, my pieces, they at the end of the day, they are hand painted. So everybody can see it's hand painted. So the next leg. These. There you go. And I mean, you see how quickly you have this done. I mean, we painted the fabric, painting the legs for the time. We're going to do the trim in a second. If I wouldn't talk that much, I would be a lot quicker also. Yeah, just gotta hairs out of the way. Make sure I have all the legs. Do that while not everything is painted. I want to make sure that the legs at the bottom are nicely covered in paint. I know why I don't like my hairs open when I work. This is okay. That's it. That's it. So I've gone into the jar by now, as you've noticed. And for this way of blending, as I said, I am adding my antebellum first all over. And then I'm adding the tree frog. And on the vanity itself, we had it from the antebellum into the tree frog, and on top there was the pure ocean. While with this one, excuse me, while with this one, as it is a lot smaller. I'm sorry you see my back now, but I just want to do that now. Yes, this is a lot smaller, obviously, than the vanity itself. So, adding tree frog. I'm just feathering it on here. I'm hardly touching the surface to just release the paint on here. And that's it. And I'm going back and forth, up and down, back and forth. And hardly touching the surface. I'm not using a separate brush for blending it in, as I'm having the antebellum underneath. If you feel the paint starts dragging, you can use some more water. I'm still good to go here. And that's it. Do that till you're happy with the result. If you want to clean the brush in between, you clean the brush in between. A little bit more of the antebellum up there. Let's see, sorry. Side. Check the leg here. That's it. That's it. Bristle there. So you want to have a little more antebellum. A little too tree froggy, but this is my antebellum brush now. Adding just a tiny little more antebellum in here. Going up, down into it. That's it. That's it now. Okay. This leg done also. And now we do the last leg, and then we do the turn it this way. It's easier. It's easier instead of turning the table itself. Make sure I have all the areas hit. Lay down antebellum. As I said, there's different ways of blending. Whatever way suits you. Water, good brush water is the key source for it. For your success, basically, good brush, using water, and then there's like different techniques you can basically use. I'll go to the other side. What? Oh, hi Yvonne. Long time no see. How are you? Emily? Oh, Emily. Hey, I'm sorry I missed you coming on. Hope you found time. So, there we go. Making sure I have all areas covered with antebellum. And then I am going to hit it just a tiny, tiny little bit with tree frog. Again, you can clean the brush off in between. I'm using the same brush. Yvonne, oh, if I could help you, I would. So, I just want to highlight the, oops, that was a bit much. No problem. Blend it in. If it's too much, it's no problem. You just blend it in. That's almost done. Hardly touching the surface. Good brush. Keeping your paint damp. Moving the brush up and down, horizontal. So I just want to have, I don't want to have the tree frog to be seen a lot. This is basically just to that's it. Highlight the areas just a tiny little bit. So that's fine. Leave it like that. Let that dry. Now we can come back to the top here and add our, just going to put those into the water. Hang on. That they are not drying on me. And lid also. So. Oh. Oh, there's a nice color mix in my sink now. Nice color mix. So I put everything away I can throw. So I need to have a sip of water now. So I'm just going to put that chair on the floor for now because I'm going to I think I'm going to get some backache. I'm not happy about that. I'm running around like a lunatic, aren't I? So let's get the trim up. Woodubend trim, my friends. Do you still have some time? Do you still have some time for me? That's thank you, Yvonne. Thank you, Yvonne. I appreciate you. This is a trim 050A by Woodubend. And look at my fingers. 050A by Woodubend, and the Woodubends are made out of real wood. They behave like real wood. They are solid when they are cold, like they are now. Oh, I hope I can cheer you up. I know you're having a difficult time, Sarah. This is I had that a long time ago, so I exactly know how you feel. I know I was a child, but I know how you feel. So that's not an easy time. So look at all those details. Look at those details. Aren't they gorgeous? So beautiful. They come in, I don't know, hundreds, thousands of different, I think there were about 3,000, 4,000 different designs. Exactly, can't paint without wearing it, that's correct. And when you heat them up, they become nice and bendy. That's why they're called Woodubend. So now I'll put the chair down. I'm going to knead it up because I have to measure around it what I need. I'm going to put it back up. Chair. So, because I want to twist it around, I have to basically twist it around the top here. So I'm going to grab my heat gun. You can heat them up either with your heat gun. You can heat them up with a hair dryer. You can use an embossing gun. You can put them on a griddle. So that's what you can do. Yes, they are. I'm having 3 pallets delivered tomorrow, so I'm quite happy. So I'm using my heat gun now. Heat that up. And the thinner a piece, the less time you need to heat it up. The thicker a piece, the longer it needs to get nice and bendy. And you can drill them, you can saw them, you can paint them, you can stain them. Very, very versatile, and you can bend them basically around every surface. So it's now nice and warm. So you see? And now basically, because I want to paint this one before I apply it, I've got to make sure as this one is pretty thin that I am basically having, this is going to be a disaster. I can do it because it's not very warm in here. And just want to, computer already stiffening it up again, because this is pretty thin. Okay, that's the length I'm going to need. You can break it off. That's what I'm doing now. And you can also cut that. So there you go. I just broke that off. This, you see, this is already stiffening up. So this is already cold. And to store them, you should put them in a coil. And let's see how to do it now. Put the chair back down. Go. And I want to paint this beforehand, but I'm putting it into a coil before I do it, because if it's like that, obviously it is fragile, like a snake. Hi Zetty. Hi Jill. Hey guys, everybody's there. I'm happy to see you, my friends. So okay, I'm putting it up in the coil first before I continue. Easier to handle. You just warm it up, twist it. That's it. It's like magic. Yeah. They are like magic. So you can paint them before you apply them, you can paint them after you've applied them. With this project, I'm going to paint them before and make my life a little easier. And I will keep my heat gun next to me. I'm using antebellum blue for this one. It's going to be painted in antebellum blue. I have another French tip brush, a small one. Oh, that's good. That's a good sign you're losing track of time. So if you have an intricate piece with loads of details, you may use some water because the paint basically slides easier into the details then. When you paint them beforehand, you should make sure that you use a flexible paint so it doesn't crack basically after you've applied or when you apply it. If you haven't got a flexible paint and it cracks, it's no problem. So then you just paint over it again. But if you want to have a clean look, you make sure you use a flexible paint. I'm using here, this is dixiebellepaint, and they are flexible, so that's perfect for it. Or you use the Posh Chalk products, they are also flexible. Using it up to keep it keep it so I can carry on painting. Let that a little. So this is basically that it runs easier into the those details of that trim. Go. Just a tiny little bit of water. Sounds like somebody's dragging a body through the house here. I hope they're not. So, there we go. You see, this is all hard up, but that's quite easy to do that way now. And, you know, just move it a little gentle when it's in that stage, you know, because you may crack it, which is not a problem because you can reattach broken moldings also, so that's not a big deal. No fuss. So then this is going to be applied onto our piece. Just going to dry that quickly in between just to show that hit all the areas. One coat is going to be fine also, as firstly the paint covers really nice, and secondly the molding is soaking it up well also, so that's good. So there you go. Almost done. It is certainly easier to paint them after they are applied, but this obviously depends on the look you're going for. Because I had like the top painted in pure ocean. I want this in in antebellum blue. I'm going to use some gilding wax or some pigments on there. I'll have to speak to Kirsten about it. What she wants to have for soul. She broke a foot, so she's not a happy soul at the moment. So nice creature. Painting a spring, isn't it? Dragging the bodies. Oh. So, now I'm in my element. My fingers are nicely covered. Okay, let's get a baby wipe. I don't want to have a shower here. I wanted to have a place with a shower. I can just like jump in after my life with my clothing and basically just get like the paint off my body and me. So I'm gonna dry that quickly and put it back into a coil. I've got to clean my fingers off because otherwise I will have that all over the fabric, which I don't want, obviously. Don't want that on there. Messy me as usual. Yeah, sure. I don't want to disappoint you guys. I mean, what would you think of me if I would be tidy one day? You would be totally shocked. That's just not me. So, anybody on Instagram? Anybody on Instagram? So, having my fingers almost clean. Almost to continue. So, here we go. Just going to dry that. Don't need the water bottle. So it's drying the paint and it's warming it up at the same time. It's quite handy. And then what's happening outside. This is like a snake. Cobra. Well, back into a coil, which makes it easier to work with it. And it's drying the paint at the same time, so makes life a lot easier. That's also how you should store them after, if you have some leftovers or something like that. So I hope that's nice and dry now. So I'm not making a mess on the fabric. So to apply that to your project, you can apply the woodubends basically onto most materials, onto glass, onto metal, onto wood. Michelle, I'm your light. Oh my goodness. You make me guys, I just cleaned my hands. I don't know. Just don't want to mess up that chair. Sorry. I'm going through baby wipes like others through whatever, chocolate or something like that. So chair back up. Oh, I'm getting backache, my friends. I'm getting backache. It's not good. So let's see. Now I can't lay it down. I would lay it down really. It would make it a lot easier, but even so. Okay, I need a brush for my wood glue. There's also different ways to apply those. You can add the wood glue onto your project before you apply the woodubend. You can apply the wood glue onto your woodubend itself. It depends which one you are using. Creator, not oh. So when I work with trims, I like to apply the wood glue first and then apply the trim. Trying to work a little. Should have brought a little jar to put that in. So wood glue is water based, so any mess I'm making I can take off also. Now I need a little jar. There's no point. Makes my life easier. So I'm using Titebond, quick and thick. This is for me the best glue for projects like this, especially when you work on a piece like this. If it lays down, it's no problem, but if it stands up, you sometimes may have the problem that it's concentrating here, that it might slide, and it doesn't slide. It doesn't slide with this glue. So you can work in sections, as this is a pretty small piece. I'm just adding, I'm going to reactivate the glue, I think. So you use enough glue to have the project stick, and not too much to have it like completely soaked. This is mostly a bit of a challenge for me anyway. I most of the time have it pretty juicy, but if it is, no problem. You use a wet cloth or a baby wipe or something like that, just to wipe off any excess. A little more glue. Glue. There you go. So, live marathon tonight. English, German, German, English. So, when I've done that, I'm going to reheat my trim. Sorry, just seeing my bag. I just want to make sure I have glue on there. Okay. So now I'm just going to reheat mine. You see, this is gonna all stiff again. So I'm going to reheat that. Oh, hi, Kerstin. Hi, love. How are you, darling? Hinkefuß. Oh, my back. Oh, dear. So, heating that back up. Make it nice and warm. It's nice and bendy. And I'm going to stick it around. I'm going to start. So, sorry, I'm just going to move around without you guys. This is just to twist that piece, too much of a challenge. Just drop the lid. Just want to attach it in general. And then I'm going to come back to so let me heat that back up again. There's some noise out there. I don't know who's out there. So, okay, let's just hang it on here in general. Now, sort of finished. Now I'm going to go back all around. I just have it attached lightly. So I'm going to come back now with my heat gun. Heat that up. I'm going to press that right down now, so it gets basically all over good contact. And this is just adding like the last bit of interest. So this is going to be done now all the way around. So let's see. Now I can twist it. The main thing is done, so I'm good to go. So sure, it's nicely attached. So, okay, I think here, ooh, careful, didn't slip down. Let's see, I may have to put some more glue on here. Yeah, I do that. This is loose here. So I'm going to first apply a little more glue on there because that has already dried. That's no problem. Just gonna go from here. I'm gonna go from underneath. Better, so I'm not touching the fabric. Because the glue has dried here. And I want it to stick, obviously. You can reactivate the glue also by heating it up. That's what will happen. Because that's how you basically can take off some of the woodubend moldings also. So, heat it back up now. Stick it on there. So, there you go. That's it. There's some glue squeezing out there, using a baby wipe on that. Just to take that off there. It's going to dry clear anyway, but I'm just taking off the main mess, so to say. And then we go to the last side. It's nicely on there. And it looks like it's supposed to be there. Like it's been nowhere else. Ooh, careful. So. Just making sure it's sticking nicely. last edge at the front where it joins. I'll need a little more glue there, I guess. Let's see. My glue here. Heating that back up. So if your woodubend is too long, you can cut it. If it's too short, you can even stretch it a little. So add it to the joint. And so this is now a little long, so I'm going to cut it. There's my knife, nobody moves. I'm going to cut it. So then I'm just going to stretch it to get those attached to each other. Hold it down a second till it cools down. It's going to cool basically now in the shape I've put it into. Oh my God, 1 hour 10. Oh, hi Jan, thank you for joining. Yeah, it does. So that's it. Guys, I'm done for tonight. I hope you enjoyed that. Just gonna bring that a little closer up to you now so you can see. So now we have that sweet little trim around here. We painted the fabric. We have blended the legs. A little bit of tree frog and stuff like that. So this cutie is going to have some gilding wax on the trim. Thank you, Helen. And okay, I'm burning myself on the. When you work with a heat gun, be careful. You might burn yourself. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Oh, my friends, thank you so much. That's it for tonight. I made it. Buffalo. My sweetheart, he just loves buffaloes. I have a stencil with a buffalo, and he just wants to have buffaloes onto everything. So, my friends, thank you so much for being with me tonight and following the process of all the projects I'm doing at the same time. My spirit animal is a seahorse, and I sometimes wish it would be an octopus because at the moment I need eight arms, 8 hands to get my things finished. I thank you so much, guys, for being with me tonight. I appreciate every one of you. I hope you stay safe and healthy and stuff like that. My name is Angela. I'm the owner and creative energy from elfenundhelden. I'm an elite retailer for dixiebellepaints over in Frankfurt, Germany. I also am a woodubend retailer and the German distributor for woodubend now. So lots of products, bits and pieces. I hope you enjoyed this tonight, and I'm wishing you a lovely day, afternoon, evening, wherever you're watching from. Also, a lovely weekend. I'll probably come on tomorrow to finish off my shop sign, or to carry on with my shop sign. I'm not sure if it's going to be finished. To carry on with my shop sign tomorrow, we will see. I hope to see you then. If you haven't done it yet, please pop over to my page and leave me a like. If you watch replay, put #replay into the comments so I know that you've been there. And you stay safe now, and I wish you all the best. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.